welcome back to my channel. This topic is going to be kind of why I haven't been uploading as much as I, say on my videos. And these past few weeks I had a little setback, and mainly due to me coughing up blood again. Now, if you watched my previous videos that I've uploaded, it talks about how I had that old incident of coughing up blood constantly and me ending up having, 3-4 surgeries later in that same month because I had to try to stop the bleeding. Well, this incident kind of happened like that, except not as much blood, thankfully, but it definitely took me to the ER. Now, what happened was, coughing up blood here and there is more like a side effect of the ARIKAYCE and the MAC bacteria trying to eat away at my veins in my lungs. Now, it can happen occasionally, and they're not really concerned about that, but if it progresses like it did in my case, then they would like to do, go in and try to stop the bleeding as fast as they can without harming your lungs further. So it happened about 2 weeks ago on Saturday. I started coughing up, bits of blood here and there, and then it started to increase the amount and more frequently, to the point where I'm coughing up half a cup of blood every 2-3 hours or so. And so I was rushed to the ER, hoping that they can, kind of slow it down, get the treatment that I need, and then my doctor would come see me and do further examinations and tests to see what's the next process and what is the next step to safely stop the bleeding without the MAC spreading and into my veins. Now, with surgery, they want to try to avoid that as much as possible, because every time when they come in and, fix something in your lungs or do like cameras and see what's actually happening, the MAC has more chance of spreading throughout the body. So surgery would be like the absolute necessary if there was nothing else to do, which in my case it had to be, because I was losing so much blood at a rapid amount of time that they were afraid that my lungs could collapse. So I'm in the ER for about a good, I'd say 24 hours, getting prepped for surgery and all this necessary things. And as I'm going into surgery, they run me down of what's going to happen and, all their protocols. The surgery went smoothly, and the surgeon actually had to cauterize 4 of my veins that were bleeding. Now, that was pretty surprising due to the fact that usually when they go in and cauterize, which is burning your veins closed so it stops the bleeding, it's usually maybe maximum 1 to 2. But since there was 4, it was a lot for my lungs to take at once, not just because of the sore and the pain, but because it was hard. It gets hard to breathe once your body realizes there's pain somewhere to help try to numb it. So I was in the hospital for quite some time, probably a full week, just to recover from all the pain and the soreness, and trying to exercise my lungs more day by day to try to get more of my breathing treatments as much as possible, because after surgery you can't really do much of the breathing treatments due to my lungs being real fragile, and don't want to cause any of the veins that were cauterized to bust open and redo the process all over again. So what the surgery actually is they go in through the main artery in your leg, and they take this cord and a camera and go all the way up through that main artery up to your lungs, where they can physically see where the bleeding is and what vein. Now, they did 2 on each lung. So what was supposed to be a quick surgery, about 1 to 2 hours, turned out to be 4 or 5. And they weren't sure if my lungs could really take that much at once, but thankfully my lungs did, and I had a quick recovery. Now, aside from my surgery and all that, I had to stay to the hospital for 2 weeks, just so as I was in there, they could run the medications that I need to kind of ward off all the other bacteria, like the MAC, the fungal, and the Pseudomonas that I have, into spreading throughout my lungs more, as I couldn't do my breathing treatments for a couple days. And so I was there for a full 2 weeks, just so the antibiotics can run their course and they can monitor me. But luckily for me, I got to actually bring Rocky, which is my new service animal, into the hospital to kind of get him familiarized with all the nursing and scheduling and his new environment and stuff like that, see how he would act, socialize, and basically try to help train him as much as possible while I was there, for more like an experience and training purposes. So after my week's gone by and I'm able to walk, I'm able to do my treatments, I start focusing more on Rocky. And for the most part, Eli knows the routine. He's been my service dog for a couple of years now, so he's okay. I'm more concerned about Rocky, since when I first got him, he was really shy, very timid, was scared of everything, wouldn't go towards anyone. And towards the end of the week, he was actually really good. He was really well trained on going places on a leash. He's got familiarized with the nurses coming in and out of the room. He doesn't bark. And so I was really pleased with his progress and his temperament and how everything was going. Now, as for a puppy, they do need exercise, because for me, I wouldn't want to be stuck in a room for 2 weeks. I even go out and, walk around. And so it's only fair for my dogs to do so too. And so every 3-4 hours, once my medications were done, I would take my dogs, and there's this little area at the front of the hospital where they can go off and run around this little grass area, to get a little exercise. And then I'd bring them back inside and we'd go back to the room. Now, another thing while I was in the hospital that was this kind of new is, as you can see, I'm not in my usual setup. I'm actually at my new apartment, which we just moved while I was in the hospital. My friends and family came over and helped me move all my stuff into the new apartment. And so as I'm unboxing everything and putting them in his place, I will be happy to give you a little house tour and see my new apartment if you like, or my new setup, my new recordings, and more like a daily task if y'all are interested in seeing how my daily routine is. And so I hope that this video kind of explains why I disappeared again, my surgery, what's been happening with Rocky and Eli. And I really hope to be making a lot more videos. I know I keep saying that and something always happens, but I'm going to try to do at least 2 more uploads this week, kind of explaining maybe some topics that are suggested by my viewers, or things I haven't really explained in my past videos. So if y'all have any other questions or comments, just feel free to shoot me a message in the comments, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.